You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop, the podcast that's a little bit of everything with a K-pop twist. From pop culture critiques to the history of K-pop to interviews with people in the K-pop industry and K-pop artists themselves, to concert and album reviews, to a deep dive into the discographies of different K-pop artists, to K-pop news updates, to stories about the music industry more broadly. This show tries to cover everything about K-pop and K-pop as it applies to the larger music and concert scenes. Visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. That's 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Hello everybody and welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. Blackpink, BTS, NCT, GOT7. There are so many artists to talk about today. So without further ado, let's get right to the list. Your top 10 biggest buzzed about K-pop news stories of the past week. Starting off with a story that is a true delight. I feel like I have been waiting years to finally get to deliver this news. Taeyeon, Biased, and Citizens, we are thriving. February 18th, 2021 is officially a very, very historic day. At long last, Taeyeon has joined Instagram. He became the fastest K-pop idol to reach 1 million followers on Instagram. King Daniel previously held that record with, it took 11 hours. For Taeyeon, it only took 5 hours to reach 1 million followers. He has over 2 million, maybe more by the time this episode airs. By this rate, he may reach G-Dragon status before we know it, and we love to see it. His dance freestyle videos have also been racking up a lot of views lately. The Oh Go freestyle just surpassed 7 million views, and Paris in the Rain freestyle surpassed 3 million views. As for NCT 127 overall, the Gimme Gimme video as of recording time is at a little over 10 million views, and the video is the fastest NCT video to reach 1 million views. This time it took them only 119 minutes, as in 119 just like NCT Dream Song 119. Not really like that at all, but still it's a very cool coincidence. Well, that's our show, and Citizens are thriving this week. Go stream NCT Talk Volume 7 that I just released. Just kidding, do go stream that, I'm not kidding about that, but we do have a lot of other news to get to, but had to make sure we got to the most important, exciting news first, that it is just a great week to be an N-Citizen. Story number 2, there are more details now about the new season of Kingdom that is coming to Mnet, February 23rd, 8 p.m. Korean Standard Time, which I believe is 6 a.m. Chicago time, Central Time Zone that day, and it will be streaming through Mnet's YouTube channel. And then if you want to vote for your favorite performers on Kingdom, the voting is through the Who's Fans app, Who's Fans being one word. TVXQ are the hosts for this season, and the boys who won last season are going to be competing against Stray Kids, ATEEZ, B2B4U, iKON, and SF9. We're going to start out by releasing these 100-second long performance videos, and then you can vote from around the world on those performances. Only a portion of their score is based on the fan votes, but it's still a significant portion of their score. There's a lot of competition. It's a fierce competition, and so I'm very excited for this season. There is a new YouTube Originals docuseries that is coming. If it's a YouTube Originals, I'm assuming that means it's for paid YouTube viewers, but maybe there will be a trial option to watch episode 1 or something. It's called K-Pop Evolution, and it's coming March 31st, which I found very interesting because that is a week or two after K-Contact, the virtual K-Con thing that they've been doing the past year. It's just a week or two after that live K-pop concert event with a lot of acts. So I wonder if there's some cross-promotion that's going to happen here. The press release for this show says that the show plans to, quote, reveal the past, present, and future of the global music phenomenon in $10 billion global industry. The series will feature never-before-seen personal struggles dealing with the pressures of being an idol from some of K-pop's biggest stars and unprecedented access behind the scenes into the making of a group, unquote. Aside from the timing of this release, there are two really interesting things about this to me. One is that it is produced by Banger Films, which is a Canada-based company, unless they're talking about some other Banger Films that I've never heard of. So that's just unexpected and interesting. And the second detail worth noting here is that this description sounds frankly a bit, not cliche, but like a very typical description of here is some coverage on the K-pop world, kind of that dark side of K-pop trope, but not really, but just saying we're going to talk about the struggles of being an idol, so I'm a little wary about this show. I really hope they do justice to the K-pop world. I just really hope the docu-series doesn't just dissect it and wonder what the big deal is, but I hope they really get into why it's worth appreciating and not just scrutinizing. I just hope they get it right, and I get personally invested in docu-series about topics I'm very passionate about, so I really worry that they'll not get it right, but we will see. Fingers crossed. Speaking of North America paying attention to the K-pop scene, 3 prominent K-pop stars have attended virtual New York Fashion Week. It went virtual this year, but they still made sure to keep it a very globalized event, with stars from around the world participating in virtual showrooms and runways and things like that. This is New York Fashion Week Fall/Winter 2021. For those of you unfamiliar with this scheduling, that's how it always is. It's always super in advance with these fashion weeks. So the next New York Fashion Week in the spring will be promoting like winter/spring of 2022. Like it goes at least 6 months in advance they start. So it may seem weird if you're not typically a Fashion Week viewer to be like, why are they promoting fall 2021 looks? That's just how it is. They like to predict the trends early. Anyway, so models this year in the Concept Korea show included BB, Yang Yang from NCT and WayV, and Yeonjun from TXT with his big modeling debut. In more fashion news, Lisa from Blackpink is a part of the jury for the Andom Fashion Awards for 2021. This is a panel basically of 14 jury members from around the world. There are singers and actors and designers, everyone in the world of creation of all kinds basically, from France, China, all over the world, that come together as a part of this jury. And Lisa is one of those jury members this year. And they help give out this French Fashion Prize, as it's called. And this is a title that actually is a huge deal with global implications. Like, this is the title that Jeremy Scott previously won. So it is known to really, really help up-and-coming, at the time, designers expand their global brand awareness and appeal. And this is an award that's been given out since 1989, so it's a very established award and a big deal that Lisa gets to be a part of this panel. The final decision will be made at a meeting held July 1st, and of course, we don't know if that meeting will have to be virtual yet, probably. Story number 6. Digital K-Con, aka K-Contact, is coming back for round 3 for your spring break. This will be March 20th through the 28th, and the first lineup has already been announced. This year we will have ITZY, Everglow, ENHYPEN, Woods, Ha Sun-woon, iKON, The Boys, and Oh My Girl. PSA, make sure that you're following K-Con on Twitter, Instagram, etc. lately because they're back up and running. They didn't have dormant months on social media, but slower months for sure the past few months on social media, but they're ramping it up again, reposting fan cams and other things to get you hyped for K-Contact Season 3. So stay tuned. They will probably have a lot of behind-the-scenes content as well as the week gets closer. And they just joined TikTok as well, so make sure you follow them there. Story number 7. Let's revisit a story we talked about on the show months ago about a fraud investigation at the Melon Charts. One of the executives was sentenced to 3 years and 6 months in prison. Another got 2 years and 6 months plus 4 years probation. And the other one got 1 year, 6 months plus 3 years probation. What they did was, of course, terrible and shady, but it's really clever if you think about it. Like, they were evil masterminds with this. Because what they did is they worked at this company, Lone Entertainment, who used to be in charge of the Melon Charts. And so they were accused of basically stealing royalties from copyright holders of songs while Lone was in charge of Melon Charts. They stole approximately $16.4 million USD, and then it would be like 18.2 billion won. They did a couple of different things to take money from rightful copyright owners who deserved a percentage of the streaming fees and things like that. First of all, they created this ghost account, like a shadow account, kind of like a slush fund, called LS Music. Then they took songs whose copyright protections had just expired, and they re-registered those songs with LS Music. So when those songs suddenly, when the copyright expired and the copyright holder who worked on the song therefore would stop getting paychecks every time the song was played or promoted or whatever, suddenly they could have been getting paychecks again, but they weren't because it was not disclosed to them that those titles have been re-registered with LS Music, which wasn't even a real company. What happened was Melon changed how it counts subscribers and therefore how it counts streams and then calculates how much money copyright holders earn. Before 2010, Melon used to count all subscribers. It doesn't matter how many times you listen to an artist, you were considered an active streamer of their music all the time, just for subscribing to them. It was based on number of paying subscribers on its face. But they changed that face value calculation in 2010 to exclude from the streaming counts when divvying up royalties those who were subscribed to those artists but were not really registered as paying customers. They were, but they didn't really stream. They were active users. They had those accounts open, so it looked like that artist had that amount of followers and active streamers, but they didn't actually because those people just had the accounts and they weren't actually using them. So this basically meant that when calculating the ratio of how much money copyright holders of those songs were owed, these executives from Lone Entertainment excluded the potential ratio their payouts would be when considering those declared inactive users. So they didn't tell them about the ratio change, so they could do the ratio change calculation without admitting that they changed that calculation to copyright holders. So then copyright holders just assumed, I guess this is the amount of money I make now, without realizing if they actually deserved more because they were not made aware of the ratio changes. Let's say I'm a copyright holder and I worked on a song and it said I had 10 million subscribers to my music and this amount of people were listening to the song and all of that. These Lone Entertainment people would then say that I would deserve X amount of money based on that face value of who was following me. And then they would give me that money. But the change was that suddenly they weren't looking at face value, they were also looking at active streamers. So let's say I had 10 million streamers, but active streamers only 9 million. Then they would not tell me that. So they would calculate the ratio and then pocket that $1 million in a difference. And I wouldn't question it because I would just assume, I guess I have 9 million active users now, not realizing what they had done. That was not what they used to do. Hopefully that makes sense. They basically got away with it because they didn't tell people about the royalty divvying up being a changed process. So they kept just taking that extra money and streamlining it into that slush fund of sorts. And they were found guilty on all charges of doing this, no surprise there because there was that financial trail. In better copyright-related news, story number 8 is about P-Dog, a big producer at Big Hit Entertainment. He won big at the KOMCA's, the Korean Music Copyright Association Royalties Awards. He won for composer and lyricist with the highest royalty earnings. Big part of that was due to Boy With Love for still racking up streams in 2020. This is his third consecutive year winning that title. He won it in 2018 and 2019, and now he won it for 2020. And the award for musical arrangements went to Cho Yun-soo, who's a big-time producer. He's worked with Han Jin-yeon and Tiara, Im Yeon-woon. He's really done a lot of musical arrangements that are impressive, so congrats to him. Story number 9. There are some big developments in terms of the partnership between Big Hit Entertainment and Universal Music Group. The biggest news they made at their joint press conference this week was that they plan to debut a new boy group together in 2022 through a reality show set in LA. And then the reality show will be made alongside the help of USA Media. Big Hit plans to focus on recruiting and training artists like this new boy band, while Universal Music Group is going to focus on production and distribution of their music. So Big Hit starts by recruiting and training, then hands the reins off to Universal Music Group. And they also confirmed that they plan to establish a new and improved version of V Live, of that kind of platform with the development of V New Live. It's going to be a live stream platform building off of the success of Weverse to make these live stream concerts that have this intimate feel for fans. The eventual goal is to make Weverse just like any other social media platform, in the sense that any famous artist can join and have their own Weverse account, and it's not just like you have to be invited or however it works now to be a featured artist. Everyone can be featured and can have that special communication channel with fans. Big Hit's global CEO Lenzo Yoon said, quote, "This project is especially significant as it will apply Big Hit's success formula established over the past 16 years to the US, the center of the global music market." Unquote. This news comes in the same week as we learned that Universal Music Group they're considering this new girl group Tribe to be the first K-pop girl group from Universal Music. So they're claiming ownership over this group. This group will now get promo support then from so many big names affiliated with Universal Music, like Universal Music's Korea branch, of course, as well as Tiger Music and Republic Records. So Tribe is going to get a lot of globalized promotions and probably a lot more groups in the future. I really do think Big Hit Entertainment is making history here with Universal Music. These partnerships between Western media companies and South Korean ones, I have a feeling those will only just increase in commonality over time. Story number 10 is kind of exciting, kind of disappointing. A big Taco Bell ad is here, and it is star-studded. It features Noah Centineo, Brad Sims, this famous BMXer, and other famous faces. I'm mostly just talking about it because I'm excited that CL got an appearance in it, and it truly is a historic moment because CL is the first female solo artist to star in an American TV ad, the first Korean female solo artist to be in an American ad. My thumbs down is just to the fact that it's a minute-long ad and she gets like 2 words in it. So I would have loved to see a lot more of her in this ad, but maybe this opens the door for her to have more acting gigs because they'll see how much K-pop fans like myself are hyped up over just 2 words that she got to say. And so then they may want to hire her for more commercials in the future, hopefully. Time for your rapid fire round of other news stories going on in the world of K-pop as of late. This isn't really news, but I got excited at the possibility, so I'm telling you anyway. I think it's news. BB Rexa revealed on Instagram Live this week that she wrote a demo for BTS. It's still in the early draft stages, and they haven't even heard it yet, but it's very possible she will work on a song that they will release at some point, and that is just the merging of pop and K-pop icons that we love to see. Speaking of BTS, their new collectibles line is revealed to also include a limited edition art print that features them in their 2018 Idol performance looks, and it is really a beautiful print. Pentagon's Hui officially left for his military service, and Flying just chose to renew their contracts with FNC Entertainment. GOT7's Yugyeom officially joined J Park's label AOMG, and he paired this announcement with the release of a new dance video. It's interesting that AOMG was founded in 2013 and GOT7 officially debuted in 2014. It's almost like a fateful timeline that this young company would sprout up and then a year later Yugyeom would start chasing his dreams and then someday they'd come back together. Meanwhile, Jackson Wayne was just on the Get Real podcast, and it made me wonder, I could totally see him having his own podcast through Dive Studios in the future, so I wonder if that's something he's considering. A PSA about Eric Nam's Mindset app. You can download it now, and then the proceeds from your streaming the audio through that app are not going to go to Eric Nam. Those proceeds are now going to be redirected to Doctors Without Borders. Blackpink has surpassed 300 million total streams on Spotify for 2021 alone so far. They are the only female group in Spotify's history to achieve that. And BTS just reached 15 billion cumulative streams on Spotify. Some view count milestones: reaching 10 million views is Standing in the Rain from Jinsol from Luna. 20 million views, Hyuna's I'm Not Cool. 30 million views, Luna's Hi Hi. 20 million views, ITZY's Icy. 350 million, Blackpink's Lovesick Girls. 500 million, Blackpink and Selena Gomez Ice Cream. 850 million, BTS Dynamite. BTS and Halsey's collaboration Boy With Love is BTS's second song now to reach 600 million Spotify streams. And BTS's DNA video is now the first Korean boy group video to ever reach 1.2 billion with a B views. That is all for today's news roundup. And before you go, in case you have been unaware of the situation in Texas, they have been through it this week. They were not prepared for this winter storm that hit. Pipes are bursting because roofs are crumbling and power lines are down. The power is out for millions of people. They lack access to fresh water and food now. The power's just been out for the whole week pretty much, and it is just really intense. It's freezing. To get people food and water and shelter and heat and just all those basic necessities of life. To provide donations to help with that, or figure out if you live nearby on the ground ways you can go help, or just spread the word about what's going on in Texas. If you want to help out in any of these ways, go to statesman.com and search for the article called How to Help and What to Do If You Need It During Texas's Historic Freeze. You can also donate through Venmo to mutual aid groups in Texas like Mutual Aid Houston, Feed the People Dallas, and Austin Mutual Aid Hotels. You can also go to toofound.org, that's TOOFOUND.org, Dawaheals, DAWAHEALS.org, AAUL.org, ADRN.org, AustinEcho.org. Plenty of other funds and mutual aid sources that need your help right now, so those are just some to get you started. Thank you all for listening to today's show. Next week, a new episode of Stay Tuned, more 17 talk, some more episode themes, possibly, that I don't want to give away yet. Lots of content to come, and then of course a new How to Stand on Sunday, ideally. Thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all very soon.